So a lot of this was mainly just using different tools and the bevel tools in different ways to sort of create this look of the character. So unfortunately I did forget to record how I did the head and the torso, but the same sort of techniques were used in the rest of the body, so realistically you're not actually missing out on all that much. So with those like little 4 dips between on the torso, I had originally intended to put the spikes that is on the back on all the torso sections, but I thought that might not look too great, so I ended up just putting it on the back, which did end up looking a decent bit better. So you can also see me do the sort of midsections where I raise it up a bit just so it doesn't look like there's a gap between them both. And you'll also see me quite a few times just sort of pausing, wondering what to do. And as I said, usually that is just me trying to figure out what I'm going to do next, see how it's going to be able to fit in with the rest of the body, because like with my previous project, I did intend to get this modelled to rig rather than rig to the model, which has caused me quite a bit of just difficulty beforehand. So as you can see, it is more just different tools and not different sort of bevel tools as well. And you could also see me do the pivot points around the arm to where the joint would be. And the one thing I do really like doing with models and these sort of things is making it look as though it would actually work. So you can see me there creating sort of like a ball joint with just 2 spheres, one of them cut in half, and use the append polygon tool on the other half, and creating sort of struts between the main part of the body and the ball. And you can see me open Discord there, but that actually helps me because do not disturb. So that's one thing I always like to do when rigging. So all of these, even if realistically the how it would work wouldn't make sense, nothing would clip into each other. Now you could also see me do the fingers here, which was just doing the same thing, copying, scaling, and then making sure it actually looks alright. And for the thumb, it's sort of the same, but I did want to try and recreate that bone between the hand and the thumb, just so you can do a proper fist, especially considering that he's going to be grabbing the board and stuff. Now, one thing I did end up forgetting to do is actually connecting that to the hand. It's fine, you're not going to notice that. And here you can see me create this same joint that I'd be using for all of the hands. Just simple connector with a rod through them, making sure to have them as little poly as possible, just because if I'm going to be copying it a ton of times, I don't want to be having like 100 each time, because that would really quickly increase the polygon count of the entire model, which I definitely do not want to do, considering you know, not everybody is going to have like a really good PC if this is supposed to be intended to market Nottingham, maybe be distributed to other people. And you can also see me do a similar thing for the middle of the hand, so it can actually like close in on itself. And I just did the exact same joint as usual. So this bit was also me still trying to figure out how to do the joint and also get it to work, because I wanted to do it again similar to how we would work, where your elbow can only move up and down, it can't move left or right. And although sure he is a robot, it's not supposed to be realistic, I would still like to get used to doing these kind of things just for future, if I do intend to go on to make human-like models. So once again, you can see me create this ball joint with like the pentapolygon scale up struts to the different parts of the model. Now I did use this design quite a lot, but it did work. It looked alright, and it wouldn't actually be too difficult for me to texture either, as long as I got all of the different places sorted out. Because I did also intend to keep it sort of as simple as possible for texturing. And now for the other arm, sure, I did flip it after copying it, even though I did already have the arm sort of planned out, which is what you could see at the start quite briefly. And you can still see here, actually, I did have all of the where the body parts would be scale wise and stuff, and also creating the legs wasn't too bad either. It was more of just the same ball joint, and then also separated out the foot. I think here I realised it would just be it would have just been better just have two separate cubes instead of just differencing out, which the difference tool does create quite a bit of difficulty when it comes to editing it afterwards, which is something I did discover whilst modelling Market Square. And even though what I did end up doing for the foot joint here might have been a bit sort of weird and a bit out of the way, it did end up working quite well actually. So we can see here more ball joint. And although I haven't included it in this video because I did it in a separate session, this is what I did for between the torso and also on the neck and the head.